Claire, thanks for joining.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
It's great to have you on, and I'm glad we could do this while your show is still up, and that is at Derek Eller in New York.
Yeah, it's up for one more weekend or one more week. Closes a week from today on the
Excellent.
15th. Yeah.
Excellent. It's a really beautiful show, and I'm glad I got to see
I'm
it. And
glad.
I feel like every time I see one of your shows, there's like new, it's like there's richer, there's more and more, there's more to look at.
Oh, wow. Tell me about that. Like what do you notice about this show that's like more or di like I feel like one of the benefits of having a show, getting the tremendous opportunity to have a show is you get the chance to have other people reflect back for you what the work is putting out. Because it's not something that I am like planning on or very conscious of when I'm painting, but I find it so interesting to hear what signals the work is putting out to people and what it's whispering to them and showing them. Um, and not to put you on the spot. I'm just like so curious um what it's doing.
I've always felt like your work had there's a restraint, which I appreciate, but
Mm.
here you have maybe more visual information, but with the same restraint.
Oh wow. That's so cool. Um, I mean, I think restraint is like kind of key in the kind of paintings that I'm making. And it's probably in part because my paintings are really I think of them as collaborative, like me and it, or like me and the linen, or me and the paint. And it's a lot of like stopping and looking at what I've just done and what the materials collaborating with me are giving. So like if I'm putting paint on linen in the early stages of a painting, if I'm like dragging that paint across, there's as much time putting the paint on for me as there is stopping and looking and waiting to see like what just happened or like what kind of like character the linen and the paint is showing. And so it takes a lot of restraint to stop and look and maybe not mess with it anymore. Or maybe like notice the little incidental things that have just happened where like a chunky bit of paint gets stuck on the pilliness of the linen and creates a little like path in its way or something. Like there's things that happen that are just incidental. They're just like the stuff of painting. But you have to or I have to stop and notice that and what in either allow it or not allow it and keep and cover over it. Um, so I appreciate that you can feel that kind of um, restraint. And also I think I'm not trying to like tell you something or show you a specific thing. Um, I feel like there's an important amount of like withholding or like a secret that is not for everybody. That maybe it's the reason like that I put the mark there, but I don't need you to translate that into language, you know? I'm speaking really like
No,
cryptically and
I think
abstractly.
this
I
that we
understand
have.
that.
I think we have to. We're talking about painting. It's a different language.
Yeah,
If you could say it in
yeah,
words, you wouldn't need to paint it.
right.
The way you're talking about it really makes me think about painting as a living thing. The
Mm,
materials,
yeah,
the process.
yeah. Yeah, when I was at Skowhegan in 2011, one of the faculty was Cheryl Donegan, and she in my studio one day said, painting is a painting when it has a face and it looks back at you. And I loved that notion. Um, because it's about presence. It's about like when the painting is has arrived finally. And sometimes that's fast, sometimes that's after years. But when it's finally a painting, it's like a living being. I think it has a presence and a force that um you feel. I feel like I know it. I feel it in my body when I know it has strength enough to move on or to let go. Um, and I think that's what she meant. Like it has a face and it looks back at you, you know. It's it's like alive or something.
Through the process, you create something that has agency
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
putting your conscious effort into it.
Yeah. And it doesn't need you anymore. Like it can live without you fussing with it anymore. It's like it's fully dressed and ready for whatever
Yeah.
comes.
It's an adult. It's leaving the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to college.
Moving out.
Moving out. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's really good. But just did also to hear you talk about little moments where maybe just leaving it, letting it do its thing and letting it assert itself in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that comes through just paying really, really close attention to it too. Like if you're only painting with a plan in mind, with like a top-down intentionality, I feel like you can miss a lot of what that painting is doing in response to you. And you have to catch it. You have to, and the way to catch those kinds of moments is, in my mind, just paying really, really close attention to the whole thing and moving all around it in different light in different times of the day and noticing all of it. Um, yeah, you gotta really like watch it as you have to watch the painting.
It seems like very much like what you would do with a child, right? You're always watching it.
Yeah, I recognize it sounds like I'm talking about mothering or something, and I know that's a thing people say, like they're your babies, and like then they go out in the world, and it's like sort of cliche and corny, but like there is something to like you're you're creating something that feels like it. Well, I think if it's strong, it doesn't sit still. It moves around and it's alive in its own weird painting way.
Absolutely. And I think the best work is still alive.
Mm.
I saw a good show of it was like Al Held, his late works, which I love.
Mm.
And I think there was some late Frank Stella's in this show as
Mm.
well. Actually, it's still up and it's at
Oh,
Art Cake. Do you know the
oh
place down
no.
in Sunset Park by me?
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's on the opposite corner of New York City from me.
You're being in Queens, right?
I'm in
That
Sunnyside in Queens,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a whole different zone.
Yeah, but
So
this is good. I need to know. Like I missed so many shows and that sounds like a special show.
it's awesome. It's really, really
Okay.
good. And I was thinking of these paintings. It's like there's still, I mean, well, I guess sculptures and paintings, whatever, but there's the people who'd made them are passed away, but those things are still living because
Yeah.
they have that life.
It's so powerful. I was talking to somebody the other night about the Prado Museum and which is just the best museum. And I feel in part it's in part I mean they have like the best paintings. And but also they don't allow phones. So there's this wonderful reverence in that museum. People are quiet. They're obsessing over paintings. They're like standing in front of Las Meninas for half an hour, just noticing little things. I mean, it's really spectacular. And I wish all museums would do that, instead of allowing people to just make content. And
I need to get there because
oh
I've
my
been
gosh.
doing this series of paintings based on Annunciation paintings
Oh,
from historical paintings. The first one I
oh,
did, I can give you a brief studio tour after this.
awesome.
So the first one I did was a Fra Angelico that is, I think it's a tempera painting that's
Oh, wow.
in the Prado.
Mm.
And then I'm looking, there's like two more that I did that are in the Prado, and I'm like, does this the museum have like every awesome
Oh,
painting?
it's all the hits and the black paintings and the Van der Weyden and the go I mean, yeah. but who was I forget who I was talking to the other night about the fact that if you imagine, like that Picasso studied the paintings in the Prado, like that Picasso's eye, he laid eyes on the same paintings that we lay eyes on. Like the fact that those paintings have lived for so long and continue to like commune with people through the century. Like it's just so cool.
It's amazing, truly
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, they're still and they
Yeah.
still live the best. That Fra Angelico, I really want to see it in Prague because I. But so
Oh,
the Prado, the nice thing about the Prado is that they have such a great online. I don't know if
oh
you've
yeah.
like perused it, but the
Wow.
great images. So you don't. Why would you need to take a photo anyway? They have
Yeah. They have way better
extremely
ones than you have
pro
in your
quality.
phone.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But then you can actually be present with the thing instead of.
That's it. Yeah. And you don't notice the same, you don't notice the real stuff of painting on if on an image. Like, yeah, I struggle so much with like with Instagram because it's not the same thing at all. And I mean, that's I guess an obvious thing to say, but and it has its uses, but yeah, we just need to be more in the real world with the real stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I had a conversation with. Do you know Jonathan Allmeyer, painter?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
John,
yeah.
yeah, yes. I have a little painting of his.
Oh,
I
cool.
do a little Mets painting. Yeah, I really love his work.
It's
Yeah.
so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
But we had such a great, we're going to do a part two as well. We had a great conversation for the podcast, and we were talking about the difference between object and image.
Oh,
Like an image, a JPEG,
yeah.
isn't alive. It's a compressed thing that you see on a screen, and a painting, being an object, is a living thing.
Yeah. Right. And it like I was saying earlier, like it changes throughout the day according to the light, according to the what's on in the back, what music's on in the background, what just happened on the phone call. Like every it contains all of the real stuff that's always changing and affecting it.
The energy that's been put into it radiates outward, the
Yeah.
actual thing itself. But
Yeah.
do you struggle? I think your work does look good online, but seeing it in person is a whole different thing.
I
And
totally struggle with photographs of the work. I mean, I don't know. Do you have any tips?
no, I don't know. I think
And
that's
I've had great photographers t photograph my work and they do a great job, but like I don't know how to yeah, it's really different. I think it the texture is so hard to see in a of a huge painting, in a small,
yeah, you
phone
don't get.
size picture.
Well, also I think I love the way in which you really think about texture and and these qualities that I don't think it's unless we get to like next level of immersive photography where you're like dimensional or something.
Yeah.
Even
VR.
yeah,
You
VR
can put on a VR
experience. I
headset.
But even that you don't get the texture and the quality and the
Mm-mm.
life.
Hmm.
And I often think about the medium that you use also being very important. And we could dip into Robert Doak a little bit. We could talk. We don't have to linger there. But you use this medium called Goop, which I
Yeah,
also
he
was
called it.
using for a while.
Oh, were you? Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I use that medium in all my paintings, like throughout like in all the layers of it. It's sort of like Galkit gel or wax medium or but it has the consistency of kind of like Vaseline, I would say. Like it makes the paint thicker. It extends the paint and also makes it transparent or translucent, but it's not too shiny the way
It's
like
kind
a
of satiny, right?
satiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no it's just oil and the powder, which he won't tell anybody what exactly is in it because it's proprietary, which can be kind of problematic. Um but I love the stuff and I love how it gives it like creates a little resistance, which I find a little like friction. Um, I think that's what I need. I think that's what I'm after, like friction with my material, so that there's like a point of contact and um there's a pushback. It's not just, yeah, it's not just me doing. It's like me doing something and then the thing is also creating a little bit of a roadblock for me. Whether that's the like pilly lint, like the snags in the linen, or, the thickness of the goop that with different colors behaves differently. Um, yeah, and the texture, like I paint my most of the time, or maybe half of the time, I paint flat on a tabletop in the window so that I can see the raking light kind of like it illuminates the texture. Like you can see when you're kind of ducking when you're closer to the surface like that, you can see the little ridges and the texture coming up from below. And I can't see the whole thing very well because it's shiny and it's oily and there's like light falling on it that distorts it. But I can see the texture and I like to play on that. I like that information to kind of guide my marks.
So the textural information, the things that you didn't necessarily predict, like things that are happening texturally, sort of start to create this conversation.
Yeah. And when I think when they're not when they're not on the wall where they are um part of an image, do you know? Like there might be like a lip on the edge of a shape because of the way the paint dried, and maybe it dried thicker on an edge. But when you're looking at it on the wall, it reads as shape or as image. But if you put it down on the table and cover over it with oily other paint, um, you can't really see that shape anymore. You can't quite appreciate the color because it's reflecting light in the room, but you can see the ridge. You can see that textural information. So it has like a different life when it's flat and just kind of provides some other personality. I think, and I do, I also put it on the wall. They go back and forth, but I really enjoy that part when it's flat on the table because it's not so cerebral. I'm not thinking about image or shape or composition really. I'm just like responding to it. It's very bodily, like I'm just noticing things about it and moving around the whole thing, and I can get lost in like the little part that's right in front of me. I don't have to feel responsible for what it's going to end up being.
So
Um,
maybe is that a way to sort of be more in touch with the process rather than the product?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, and it's another form of like friction for me to kind of battle with.
So you kind of create these, did you say roadblocks or
Yeah,
some sort of obstacles?
yeah, that's right.
So it's
Yeah,
really,
I think I've learned just through the years that I need obstacles to like contend with to sort of like get through it together or like yeah, like a couple years ago, I got a really big canvas. Well, really big for me, like an 8 foot tall
that's
uh,
big. Yeah.
canvas. Yeah. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to paint it flat because I can't reach it. I can't reach the center standing next to it. Um, and and I wanted to see, can I paint a painting on the wall the whole time? And I did it. And I think in part because it is so big and you have to paint it rather quickly. It's because otherwise it's going to seize up in a couple days. Like the paint will I need for my paint surfaces to be like soft enough that they can be manipulated. Um, so there's something about painting really large on the wall that's like it's got enough friction. It's got enough, yeah, of it. It's enough of an obstacle um that it keeps it fresh for me. And in this show, I made a big diptych, like how wide is it? it's like 112 inches wide. How much? I don't.
10, 10, 12 feet, something like that.
Yeah, like 12, 24, 30, 40, 60. Yeah, like 9 or 10 feet. 108 inches
It's
is,
big.
yeah, it's big. And yeah, similarly, it was like there's something about the urgency of covering that much ground that just caught
Before it gets wet, before it gets dry, I mean.
before it gets dry,
Yeah.
yeah. That just makes you put a flag in the ground and like go for it and
So
touch it all
that's the
over.
challenge
Yeah.
in that particular piece,
In
but each
that,
piece might have a different challenge.
yeah. If I was making a small painting on the wall, that thing would take me like a year, I swear to you. Because I'm too aware of the whole thing, or I'm too in control of it. I can see the whole thing too much.
You need to have some areas that you're exploring, right? Some
Yeah,
discovery, I
yeah,
should say.
totally. Yeah.
Interesting. And it seems like your place, your relationship, your bodily relationship to the object is important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I need to be like lost in it, I think. And when I make a small painting, I tend to hold it really close, like I'm like a book, or like I'm, when like when kids color and they put their head, they like rest their head on their arm
Yeah.
and they watch themselves color really close. Like that's what I
Because then
tend to
you're
do.
getting lost in it in that
Yeah.
way. Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're exploring this landscape
Yeah, I think so.
inter
I think I
somehow.
need to watch myself paint. Like
That'd be really
watch the
interesting.
point of contact.
Whoa. Okay, so I have a question for you. I just
Yeah.
like had something really in my memory. Were you on the cover of the Skowhegan website for some years?
Oh, maybe doing that fresco?
Yeah, or
Yeah,
something.
maybe. I or there
Or
was
there
a
was like
picture.
it was a picture of you like painting a painting that was like flat on the ground, like flat, I think.
I made a fresco in the barn that summer, but I was up on scaffolding and it was on the wall. Like they have frescoes all over that barn, and
Was it cool to make a fresco?
it was
Yeah.
amazing. And I think about that experience when I make a large painting. Like when I just made that diptych, I was like, "Oh my God, this is like fresco." Because within fresco painting, you
You gotta
have
work
like
fast,
4
right?
hours or
Yeah.
something. Yes, you have a very limited amount of time before the stone. What is it? It's
The
like
lime, right?
lime. Yes, it's
Yeah.
like before it's
Yeah.
going to, like, it only will receive the pigment
For a few
for
hours?
like 4 hours or
Well, then,
something.
do you do in sections or something? Or
Yeah, I think you can do it in sections. And the one, there are like fresco. I don't even know what you call the like framed off areas. But they cover it with new lime for the like every 4 years, and participants can,
at
you know,
Skowhegan?
yeah,
Yeah.
at Skowhegan. And
Yeah.
so I got the pleasure of doing one, and it was so challenging. Because like I'm an oil painter and I will paint over and over, and I can put something down and change it endlessly. And fresco is like
You got one
very,
shot.
yeah, it's one shot, but something about that speed and the urgency is like I've taken that with me. I've really like I think that relates very much to that diptych in this show and those really big paintings, because there's just the same kind of like, oh, I gotta hit that and I gotta get this corner, and it's very physical, you know?
Do you think about that ahead of the time? Like, when you make when you have a canvas, like based on the size, the scale,
Yeah.
how do you think of a design that you want to do? Is the challenge, whatever the challenges of that painting, are those sort of factored into the design?
Well, I wouldn't even say they're really designed. Like, typically I'll start a painting with, well, usually I take like dirty rags and just kind of rub them in. So there's like little streaky marks of like whatever, just bits of paint, just something to kind of like season the surface a little. And then and then I mean most of my paintings begin with like a real loose, just like it's very, it's kind of almost mindless. Like I'll just notice things in the drawings that I have around me in my studio. Um, which I like to have a lot of like visual information around me that I can pull from. And so I make series of drawings based on, I mean, the sampler drawings I've been making for almost 15 years that are based on antique embroidery samplers. And I pull from my drawings. And not like a sketch becomes a painting, but maybe there's like some, I don't know, some like marks or motifs in this sampler drawing, and one day I'm like, oh, I like that. I want to, that would look, I would like to see that at a huge scale. So I'll like very loosely, washily, like put those marks on the giant canvas, knowing full well that this is going to like change and go through a lot of, different lives. But it's just a start. Um, Or I'll take a really tiny drawing. I also make these this series I'm calling signets, and they're like 7 by 10 inch little tiny drawings that are based on parts of paintings that I like. Um, Sometimes when I'm making paintings, like they get stuck or they're just not there yet, and I know that they, in order to like get somewhere good, I'm gonna have to cover over the whole thing. I'm gonna have to not destroy it. It's not a destruction, but like I'm gonna have to change it radically. But it's hard to do and it takes a lot of nerve because I like parts of it very, like I get attached to little parts in the painting. So sometimes I'll make a signet drawing, like a tiny little drawing of the part I like. So it's like a little keepsake or a snapshot of the good thing.
You can save a piece of it that
Yeah,
you like.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like it helps me get like let go of the painting or gives the
Mm.
painting like a longer leash. Um, and and in this show, and I would say like lately, I'm enjoying using those signet drawings as kind of an initial scaffolding for a really large painting. So like taking something that's 7 by 10 inches and like marking a 8 foot painting with that kind of, like they have more like compositional heft because the forms in the little signet drawings are so large compared to the frame. So they have this like, yeah, they have like a gravity to them that I'm liking in the large paintings as but then they get covered over and then I get the impulse to like put a blue shape in over here or like whatever, and they change, and then every change has to like contend with what is underneath it or what's around it. Like they even if I have like a plan in my, it's not a plan, like even if I have an intention, like, oh, I want to turn that purple painting blue, it's going to be a different blue than I imagined.
So you might just use these signets as a kind of a foothold, a way
Yeah.
to sort of grab onto something, and then maybe it's changing, or and then
Yeah.
you respond to what's happened. And
Yeah. And I think importantly, it's it's mine. Like I made it. So I feel very free to reference it. I think a long time ago I really struggled. I was working with imagery, like making figurative work with photos. And I really struggled with how to make them mine. And because I felt like, yeah, I just felt like I was stealing or something, or like I had to abstract a photograph to
were
make
they
it.
your own photographs?
Sometimes they were more like family photos, like that of my mom's family from like the 60s and the 50s, and they were people I knew, but it wasn't like I didn't compose them. And I
Undergrad?
no, this is like 2010.
Oh,
20,
so
two
rich.
thousand like 9, 10, 11.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a show of that work at Ed Thorpe Gallery in
Hmm.
2010. And I love those paintings, but they were so um
I'd be curious to see those. Yeah.
difficult. Yeah,
Difficult.
I should put them on my website. I feel like I don't know why I don't know.
But
But but I would isolate tiny little parts of the photos and paint from that little like square inch or something. Like there was something about denying um the entirety of that image and selecting like a teeny little moment that was freeing for me. Um, and then, I mean, it was like a slow undoing or letting go of nameable imagery. It wasn't something that I consciously like set out to do, but I recognize, I think that I struggled with working with somebody else's image. And through making paint, and I call them drawings, they're oil on paper. My drawings are basically paintings on paper. But through mediating that source image, which lately for me, last 15 years has been these embroidery sampler images, but through manipulating them, like through changing them with my own, um, through making drawings of them, I can then work with my drawings in this free way that, um, yeah, like the work all generates itself.
I was just
Um,
about to say, it seems like it's something that's not necessarily a loop, but a self-contained, in a sense, system.
yeah, it's like a pinball machine or something. I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing that it's sort of self-generating.
Yeah.
No, but at
Yeah,
some
and the
point,
big paintings will give me little drawings that will then turn into other paintings and like and then when you combine them together, they like make something new and um yeah, it's a good place for me. I have found that's a better place for me to be working from rather than like have one image and paint from it. Some people do that beautifully and freely, but it was too like cerebral or something. I was like trying to make choices first about how to manipulate the photo rather than just like painting and
it seems like your process is very intuitive in that way,
Yeah.
very physical.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Yeah.
and that's to me that's very difficult and very there's a lot of you have to be really brave, right? On a certain level to be able
You
to
have to
just
really
let go.
trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like trust the process because it's not always it's hard, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And you
it's
just
not good until it's a paint like it's not a painting until it's done and sometimes that takes a really long time and is uncomfortable. I think we have to be really comfortable with not knowing, which is not easy,
how do you
you
know
know.
when it's done?
It's a feeling. It's like a recognition, like I really I find that usually when I finish a painting, I say something out loud like walk away, like stop. Like I kind of announce it. Not always, but like it's a thing that um like comes out. Um
You just know it.
I know it. Yeah, it's like a feeling. It's a bodily recognition of like, wow, I see it. And you might, of course, a different painter wouldn't see it, but I think that's the whole thing. Like we have to paint to our own heart's content or our own visual, like what we accept as a painting that I made. And you might see it in an earlier stage and be like, "Oh, I love it. It's strong or it's done or blah blah." If there's something about it that I can't even name, but I feel not good about it, um, I have to hear that. Like there are two painting there were two paintings I was working on in before this show that were just like killing me. They were just like one just looked nice. It just looked nice. But it didn't have like I don't know, it didn't have any secrets. It didn't have any stories. It hadn't like experienced anything. So I was like, no, I just like I don't want to share that with anybody. And then the other one was, yeah, I just like didn't, the color was bugging me and it looked really, it looked really like under the sea or something. Like there were some images in it that had come up that looked too watery or too oceany. But I kept fussing with these paintings, and then like 2 weeks before the deadline, I decided pull them, like put them away. They're not going to be in this show. And then I went for the big diptych, which I had been like
Mm.
wanting to do, but I was really afraid to start a huge painting at that late in the game. But I like went for it, and I'm so glad I did because that painting is so fresh, and the other ones were so fussy or so not like they just weren't. I didn't accept them, and I'm about finished with them now, and they'll go to Miami, which like is I'm like it's um I have to like listen to the work
Internally.
and yeah, internal and listen to my own feelings about like I knew I would be uncomfortable about those paintings being in that gallery if as they were in that moment. And now I'm like ready to let them go. But they had to go through it more, you know. And they look completely different than they did, you know, a month ago.
They gave birth to the diptych,
They
right?
did. Yeah. Yeah, they gave me the like challenge or something. They like dared me to do it
To leave
or
them
something.
behind.
Yeah.
Maybe the challenge was letting go at that moment.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
I feel like on a meta level, you're really like the god of these paintings. You decide you decide who lives and who dies, who
Yeah.
makes it to the next place, you know.
Yes.
You decide the fates.
Yes. I give them my commandments.
Yes,
They
yes.
abide.
The commandments of Claire.
Yes.
They truly, but it does like the process is such a it's awesome to see it and it's awesome to hear about it because whenever I see your paintings, I really I can get a sense of these things that you're talking about. You're really, really invested in the process and you really have so much faith in the process. And I think it's rare for one to have that, but also to have something that is beautiful.
Mm.
A lot of painters plan it pretty heavily and they pretty much know what it's going to look like, myself included. I pretty much know for the
Uh-huh.
most part. I mean, I try to leave some room for this kind of process, a lot of, that kind of playfulness or discovery,
Yeah.
and that's very important. But to do it on that scale, I think is a rare thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and maybe other painters find deep pleasure in that, in the knowing or in the, I don't know. I just don't. I feel like it's too much to know. I feel too responsible or too like, it's like too verbal or something. I don't know. I need that not knowingness as a big ingredient, you know. And yeah, there is like a blind faith. There's like a I have I have learned to trust myself that like I'll know it when I see it. And but it does take the nerve to like to wait and to be patient and to withhold and have restraint about a feigning getting done in order to like grow that muscle for me of like recognizing when I accept it, recognizing when it exists for me.
We don't think about restraint as being something that is bold necessarily, but I
Yeah,
think it
we think of it
is.
as like hesitant or
Yeah.
sheepish or something. No, but yeah, that's so true. Yeah. But maybe it is. Like maybe it's a like a superpower or something.
I think it is. I think it is. It's patience, and that's very
Yeah.
difficult to be
Listening
patient.
too.
Yeah.
It's not talking all the time, it's listening, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. And I think both, listening, patience, restraint, they're all basically functions of love, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's beautiful.
at the end of the day, isn't it? Like that's what it is. And the conversation with Jonathan Allmeyer, we came to the same conclusion. We were talking about Northern Renaissance painting, and so I was in Europe last summer on this sort of
Oh,
quest to see Van
oh wow.
Eyck's and Memling's, and I went to see the Ghent altarpiece,
Wow.
and went to the Memling Museum in Bruges,
Oh wow.
and it just that stuff is just so beautiful, and
Oh,
it's so slow.
yeah.
It's really just such
Yeah.
good
I'm
paint, such strong
I'm
paint.
so sorry, Dan.
No, it's
Broken.
okay. Oh, hello.
Oh
Hello. Who's
hi.
this?
This is Pearl. Can you say hi? Yes. Say hi,
Hi
Dan.
there.
I want you. I want you
Hi,
too.
Pearl. How are
Somebody's
you?
supposed to be watching you right now.
How are you?
How are
Are you
you?
having a good time?
Did you go
You
for a walk? What did you see? Only two dogs. Only two? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, there's a fly in here. Okay, I want you to go back downstairs and I'll be down in a few minutes, okay? What are you doing? I'm sorry, Dan.
No, it's okay. No, no.
I'm talking to Dan right now. Here, you go down. There we go. I'll be right down, okay? Dan, I'm really
Oh
sorry.
no, that's okay. No, no, that not at all. Not at all. That was actually a a tiny gift from the universe, you
Yes,
know? Like I think I
her cute voice is
yeah,
a beautiful thing.
we're gonna leave that in. I think we have to. The other day I was at the park walking on my lunch break at work, and this little boy around the same age ran up to me and gave me a hug. And he was with his sister who was a little bit older, and she's like, "He's not your dad."
Oh, funny.
But he was so happy, and so I just hugged him back and walked on.
Oh, that's adorable.
They have, it's like I think as artists, we're really trying to tap
Yeah,
into that state, the
yeah.
childlike state of creativity, which is
Oh my
natural to
gosh.
them.
Yeah. That it's true. I am thinking about like Fanny, my older daughter, she's 8.5, and we have some drawings of hers that she made when she was like 4 or 3 that are so unself-conscious and they're so strong. Like she's observing a plant or a flower as like she's observing how it looks in real life. She's not drawing her idea of a flower, and only like a couple years later we have another drawing of her flower, and it's like 5 petals equally spaced with a circle in the middle. Like it looks like
A conception of a flower, right?
a
An
conception of
idea.
a flower, and it's sort of heartbreaking. And maybe in some days she'll understand that difference, but she said something like, "You like the other one. You like this one better. Why don't you like this one?" And I do like it. It's different, but it's hard to explain to her that there's something about the younger drawing that is pure, or it's like freer, and it's more of it's that collaboration. Like she's really looking at the thing and what the thing is giving to her in relation to where she's sitting and what she sees, as opposed to just this top-down choice of what the world says a flower looks like, or what cartoons say a flower looks like.
So it's more of an exchange, really.
Yeah, that's better. An exchange. Yeah. Maybe
That's
not
really good.
collaboration.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. I totally get it. I actually had a similar experience with my niece who there was a painting of mine. It was like a landscape painting on the wall in her room. And she's been making me a drawing of it every year she's 10 now. For the past 5 years or so,
Oh,
every year I get a new drawing of it.
that's
And
cool.
I've seen the way it changes. And the earlier ones, I like the later ones too, but they're more accurate to the painting, and they're neater, more
Yeah.
accurate, but they've lost something. They've lost
Yeah.
some of the freedom
Yeah, I
of the younger
believe
ones.
it. Yeah. It's the same thing as that boy in the park giving you a hug and the sister saying, "Wait a minute, think about this first." Like,
Who's
yeah,
the-
we need to like not think about it first so much, I think is our like we have to
Yeah.
silence that somehow. And I have created these little ways to sort of silence that thinking. And I need that. I think.
What are the ways you might do that?
Well, I mean, I think painting flat, painting, yeah, painting on the table, uh, and also like using linen, like those kinds of frictions those kinds of little roadblocks are the ways that I think that I
Oh, the
try to
strategies you were
silence
talking
the,
about.
yeah, so yeah, so that I'm looking and not not
You're not
planning.
thinking.
You're not
You're not really
thinking,
think.
yeah.
And the way you talked about when you do a small painting, you might have your head down like a
Yeah,
kid does.
yeah.
That seems like a similar sort of mode of
Yeah,
trying to get into that mind
that's
space of
right.
not
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard to do. And so if you can now, if you can develop some strategy, because
Yeah.
the adult mind the is going to think, you're going to think. But if you
That's
can
right.
find some way of having blinders on in a sense to,
Yeah. And certainly when I put a painting up on the wall, then I'm thinking. Then I'm looking at it and like making decisions and seeing what it looks like because that's how it's going to be existing. Um, so there's both, but I enjoy the not thinking part, I think more. It's just it feels better.
so it seems
Um,
to me like you're kind of trying to strike a balance between thinking and then you have it on the wall and then you're really considering all these things in a more not
yeah,
literal but
cerebral way
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about what the composition look feels like to look at and what I want to change about it or what, I start doing those things where you block your hand and you're like, "Ugh, I just don't want to see that color there."
Yeah.
Uh,
I listen to a good podcast. Do you listen to Rick Rubin's podcasts?
I don't. Somebody else has recommended it. I
It's
should.
it's really good. He's had a
Okay.
few big visual artists on, like Richard Prince and Ed
Uh-huh.
Ruscha and people like that. But he had Matthew McConaughey on, and he was talking about reading a script all the different times a day. He had it like laminated so he could read it in the shower, and then he was reading the script like in the morning, and then when he's had a drink, and then all these different times, like all these different states of
Environment.
mind, yeah, and
Whoa.
environments. So he's really trying to like see all the different facets of what this character
That's
might
so
be like.
cool. That's cool. Bill just read his or listened to his book.
Oh
He
yeah,
wrote, I
what's
think he wrote like an autobiography. Bill said it was awesome.
he's a really
Uh-huh.
interesting guy. I'll read that for sure. I want to read that. That's
Cool.
good. That's good. So what else you got going on?
I mean,
You could
I'm painting these two paintings for Miami that I will go in on Monday and probably just look at them for like 7 hours and make little tiny finessing change. Like I'll just do little touches probably, but they're
you,
close.
you feel like they're close. You kind of know.
Yeah, they're really, I left yesterday feeling good about them, but I want them to dry enough. There's a couple things I want to do. Like one might get a little tiny border on part of it, but I need the paint to be stiffer.
So
So
it's too
by
wet right now.
Monday, yeah, it's like a little too slippery. So Monday it'll be soft. It'll be dry enough that I can do the things that I imagine completing the sentence.
These two paintings will redeem themselves
Yeah.
after dying
Yeah,
for the sins of the
that's
diptych.
right. They're gonna be resurrected.
How much time do you spend maybe just considering a painting, looking at a painting?
Oh, I don't know. Like, well, and depends on, I mean, probably like a quarter, like a half the time, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, like when I teach, when I do crits of like grad students or my crit club students, we always start a critique with like at least 10 minutes. Like, well, it depends on how long we have for each crit, but like a chunk of time of just quiet looking. I don't jump right in and start diagnosing the paintings. I just don't, I don't trust that. I need to like look for a while. And I try to do that in my studio in the like when I start in the morning. I try to just like sit for a while with my coffee and like my painting and because then it'll just start to reveal its stuff. Usually like its weak parts. And then I'm like, okay, I know what I know where I want to like go attack this thing. Or I know what's lacking. Um, so yeah, a lot of time.
I think we underestimate how much time should be spent or could be spent looking. Like you don't think about looking and just considering something as productive, but often that's the most productive thing you can do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's a fight though. It's a struggle, especially in the culture now. It's like everything
Yeah.
produce, production, rapid, this, that, and
Yeah,
everything's
go,
so
go, go.
immediate.
Yeah. And also like say. Like what if we just stop saying stuff? What if we just
Yeah.
like, yeah, be quiet and just be with it. I don't there's
A whole world opens up.
yeah, there's stuff to be had there in
Yeah,
that
a
space.
lot. There's a lot of richness in that space. And I think your
Yeah.
painting is really unique in that way is that it is of the culture, it's very much of the current time and place, but it's slow painting without being representational. Like, I think representational slow painting is a lot easier to do because it's like, okay, I'm gonna make this thing and I kind of know when it's going to,
Sing.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and that's a tricky thing. I don't know how long it's going to take. Like that diptych could have not arrived in the time that it did. It might not have been strong, but it came quickly.
Mm.
And so that's why it got to go in the show. But I don't know how long a painting's going to take. But like I said, I can feel it. I know it when it's there. I just have to be really conscious about listening to that like inner, I don't know, voice that says yay or nay.
You're very comfortable with the uncertainty.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's uncomfortable, but it is like I recognize that that's like part of the life of the painting is the discomfort about like, oh, I really wanted this painting to go in this show, or I wanted this painting finished, but it is not. It's not, I'm not gonna feel good if it's out in the world. Like I will regret it. And I don't want to live with that regret. I would rather have the strength to hold it back and keep and give it a longer leash. Like I like I like the idea of like there's like a tether or something, and some paintings need to go farther down the road. Uh, yeah, they need to go farther. They need to experience more.
That's how life is. You don't know how it's going to turn out. And if you're open to the process of it, then it unfolds in a way that is natural,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
rewarding.
yeah. Yeah, and that's about like being just in the moment, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just
the
trying maybe that
future is
space.
like a fiction. It's something not real
Same with
until
the
it happens.
past.
Yes. Yes.
Where are you teaching now?
I teach for NYC Crit Club.
Oh,
It's
cool.
yeah, do you know Catherine Haggerty?
I do.
Yeah, she runs it and it's amazing. It's like a organization that I mean, they mostly employ like working artists like myself, many of whom teach for other institutions. And I think it started, I forget when it started, but it was really that I think students would Venmo the professor like $15 and get a credit. Like it was
That's
super,
awesome.
yeah, and it's grown. And I think I should know all this information, but there's like dozens of classes, maybe like 80 classes or something.
Wow. So do
Um,
you go to individual studios?
Yeah, well, so they have a studio space in Chelsea. It used to be in Bushwick and now it's in Chelsea, um, and on 26th Street. And I run a Canopy cohort, which is like a year-long mentorship program. I have 8 students in my group, and we meet once a week at night, for 2.5 hours, and we crit three artists' work a night. So everybody gets like a 45-minute crit, and we're all together just like figuring out how to talk about painting and trying to make the work better. And um, it's like the best part of teaching grad school, where like, I mean, for me, I love doing studio visits, but I don't have a ton of teaching experience. And I don't have the time to like do all of that prep. And Catherine's so amazing that they do all of the admin stuff down to
You show up and just do
template,
the crit.
pretty
That's
much.
awesome.
I mean, the mentors, like the spring semester will be different than the fall semester. Like we have more visiting artists and visiting critics that I've invited to crit crit the work. And there are like workshops about artist statements and writing, and like it's fleshed out more in the second half, but I really love it. And it's yeah, it's like it's really wonderful what they're doing. It's almost like an alternative to grad school, in that you get the students get this community and this kind of attention on their work. And it's, a fraction of the cost, which is really important. And but then many of them end up going on to do residencies. Some of them are applying to MFA programs or in MFA programs. Like
That's
it
great.
can be
That's
a
really
really
good.
great stepping
That's really good.
stone.
And it's
Yeah.
called NYC Crit Club.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So people can check it out. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
And you went to grad school, right?
Yeah, I went to
Where
Pratt.
into Pratt, and then for
Yeah.
undergrad, where'd you go?
I went to the University of St. Thomas, which is in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Are you from Minnesota?
I'm from Chicago,
I
suburb.
knew that. That's right,
Yeah.
because I'm from Northwest Indiana.
Oh, I forgot that, Dan. Oh my gosh.
The Midwesterners have a kind of an energetic magnetism a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Our mutual friend Rob, also from Chicago, we had
Oh
that
yeah.
studio visit
Oh my gosh,
um
right.
together with Rob Westerholm, and he was on the podcast too.
Right. Oh my gosh, crazy. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that was definitely pre-COVID. And I
Yeah.
think that was it
That
was
was probably
pre-Pearl, right?
yes, definitely. Yeah. Pearl was born
Yeah,
in 22.
how old's Pearl? 22. Oh yeah, definitely before
Yeah,
that.
and Fanny's 8.5. So Fanny was probably around, but yeah, gosh, that was I think 2 studios ago.
2 studios ago. That you were in Long Island City at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that big studio or
You
that
shared
that
it
was
with Joy.
yeah. Yes, with
Yes.
Joy Garvey. Yes.
Yeah.
Two studios ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It goes fast. Goes
Yeah.
so fast. Yeah.
That part we got like kicked out of that studio because some developer bought it, and then the same thing happened with the next one. And now I'm north of the bridge, still in Long Island City, but
Yeah.
hopefully my 5-year lease is
I know so it's always tenuous, and
it's out. Yeah.
that's part of the sort of the deal living in the city. You're always like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna stay here. We'll see. Maybe
It's
it'll work
a
out.
yes.
But
Yeah, we're vulnerable in that way, but
but there's a lot of
um
opportunities, and
yeah.
the real resource that we so often don't think of because it's not tangible is the people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
getting to have this conversation with you, meeting all these
Well,
incredible artists and painters.
yeah, and the fact that we get to run into each other just fuels that wonderful the richness of this life in New York, do you know? Like
Yeah,
it's so good.
that's the
You
best. It truly.
sacrifice a lot to be there, but
Yeah, you got to take advantage because of that. You got to
yeah,
really, and there's so
yes,
many great shows.
yes.
There's a great show at the Morgan Library.
Oh,
Which
oh, the Lisa you scav no,
oh,
which
that's there. That's good. That's really nice.
that yeah, I have
But
to see.
there's a Renoir show, a drawing show,
Oh,
that's really
cool.
nice as well. And but this show they have medieval psalters, illuminated manuscripts
Oh, I would love
upstairs.
that.
It's amazing. It is
I
just
love the Morgan Library. That's such a neat.
that's so
Yeah.
cool. It's this Gilded Age
Yes.
masterpiece, really.
Yes. It's like
It's
have you been to the new Frick?
Yeah, we went the same day. Yeah, it's so
Oh,
good.
cool.
It's so
Oh, what
good.
a day. You
Yeah,
like
what a
went to
day.
Europe for a
Yeah, we
day.
did. No, actually, that was the day before. Sorry, my sister was in town, and
Oh,
so I wanted
cool.
to show her. I was kind of, I was, I, lo- I'm, I benefit so much from when people come to visit because I take them to places I wouldn't normally go.
Yes, that's right. That's so good.
But you got so one last question actually. So if you were going to the Met, where's the first thing you would see?
Oh. Oh. Hmm. What would I see? I don't know if I don't know. I don't know that I can answer that. Um,
I'm curious about where your historical interest lies, or if there is a particular. I'm not
that's
trying to
so
put you on the
funny.
spot, but
Do you
like
know, that's so funny. Uh so I did my undergrad at St. Thomas, there was no art program there. And by the end of freshman year, I decided I wanted to be an art major. So I took classes at St. Kate's, which is an all-women's college nearby, and the credits would transfer. I had one art history class, and I was like a graphic design concentration at the time. So, but I was avoiding all the computer classes and taking like life drawing and 3D foundational stuff. And then junior year, I went to Florence for a semester and I was at an art program, or like it was an art school. And I took my first painting class, beginning painting. And I called my advisor and I was like, "Can I switch?" And she was like, "Everything's out of order. All of your credits are out of order, but yes, you can switch to painting. You're always going to paint. I will make this work." So I was like, "Okay, great." And then I enrolled in advanced painting my senior year, and I showed up. I was the only person enrolled in the class. So they changed it to an independent study for a year. So I had one beginning painting class, and then I had what they called, well, I had an independent study. I never had a crit. I never wrote about my work. I never really looked at work. I like had a couple art books, but I did not have, and my advisor, my teacher for the independent study would come by like once every few weeks and kind of give me a thumbs up. And it was just I didn't have that kind of art education. Um, but I knew that I learned that I love to go to my studio all the time. And I painted like my art books. Like I had a John Singer Sargent book that I loved, or like a Degas book. I just painted like my art books painted or something. And then I went to Pratt and I was with all these kids who like had artist parents and grew up in New York and they spoke this language that I did not speak. And they had this art historical, you know, brain. And
or
it used
baggage.
to be really, yeah, well, it used to intimidate me, and I felt like that was a huge deficit. And I've come to realize that it's not. Like, or that it's just the way I am. Like I don't maybe it's like my secret power that
I think
I'm
it
not
is.
I
You're
don't have a baggage.
you're unfettered.
I'm not comparing myself to like yeah, I just like I have my own rabbit hole that I've learned to like go down. Um, I love to look at paintings, but I don't like I could never like well, I don't know. I probably could teach an art history class, but it would take so much effort because that's
There's
not part of like my muscle set that I didn't grow up with that.
I think you really dodged some bullets. That you're really unencumbered with this sort of bag. Like I went to Indiana University for undergrad, and they really,
Uh-huh.
really indoctrinated in the students to paint in a certain way and to look at
Uh-huh.
certain things and to have a very specific, but really looking back, arbitrary, not totally bad because I learned a lot about color and learned a lot about,
Yeah.
uh, good things that were
Yeah.
useful later. But it took me years and years just to realize I was doing
Shed
so.
it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bet.
And I still haven't
Yeah.
completely, like, hopefully I keep the things that I wanted, but in your case, it's really wonderful. And I can really actually, it's interesting hearing you talk about that because thinking about your paintings in that respect, they seem very free and unencumbered by the baggage of Western history, art history.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you could look at them as like ignorant of it, or you could look at them as like free of it. And
No, I don't think they
I
seem
used
ignorant.
to think of it as
Yeah.
ignorance, and now I think of it as like, well, it's just what it is.
You're
It's,
aware. You're aware of these
yeah,
things. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. And I've lived in New York for over 20 years, and I'm, part of this community here. And
Yeah.
of course, I'm looking, but I think I remember a time when I wanted to close my art books. Like when I was like making paintings enough that I would look at the, you know, paintings of like heroes of mine and be like, I would have done that differently, or that part bugs me. And I thought that was so empowering to be like, oh, I have an opinion about that. I have my own thing. And so I think like shut the books.
Yeah.
And I think shut Instagram. Like sometimes we need to stop looking at
Yeah.
everybody else's stuff and just like look at our own work and like really look at it and really make more of it and look at it and go there. Like,
Yeah. And trust your own process.
yeah, like shut out all of the exterior input for a while. And so, because I think you'll make something truer, and then you can put it on the wall next to all that stuff and have a show
Yeah, that's good.
at the Met.
That's really good. That's really good. Oh man. Well, I'm glad I asked that question because
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Now I see your work in a new light, which I appreciate
Oh,
that.
wow.
And
Thanks for asking.
and thank you again for the inspiring conversation and for making
Oh,
such great work. It's such a great show. I People should see it.
oh,
I
thank you
thank
so
you for
much,
making those
Dan.
paintings. I love it. I love it. They
Oh,
really they they're alive.
thank you.
They give life.
It's such a gift to have a show. It's just like we get to do that. We wouldn't have done this otherwise, probably. And it's like we just had a really deep conversation that like forces me to put words to I what I'm doing in this really helpful way that then I can like take with me and like make my paintings better or apply, there's just like I learn so much from other people when I have a show.
I You have a real brightness, and a very like just what you said right there is so important. And I think you realize what it is, what's happening. It's the community, you're giving something and it gives back, and then
Yeah.
the whole thing is connected.
Yeah.
And it's so important what you're doing and your approach. I think one thing I did want to mention is that you mentioned something about illuminating as you were painting, like you see the painting becomes illuminated in a certain light. And I think there is a real quality of light that your paintings have.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like and I think in a studio visit with somebody, they said that my paintings have like an internal glow. And I loved hearing that, and I feel like I try for that. And maybe it's only in one little part or something, but I love for that light to come from under, like
From
watercolor or something. Like,
It
um,
does. It comes from within.
yeah, yeah. But I wouldn't have maybe known that unless somebody reflected that back for me. Like I didn't choose that. She saw it, and then I'm like, oh yes. And that is like a thing I want. Like I want to chase that.
It spreads outward, right? That like an
Mm.
internal light, and that's contagious. And then that, I guess I'm speaking literally and metaphorically as well, because these paintings are actually physically, they seem to emanate light, but there's
Mm.
another kind of like a brightness of spirit to emanate as well.
Oh, oh, thanks. Yeah.
And then, but you have it too, though. You have that brightness, and I think we all sort of put ourselves into our work, and
Yeah.
one wants the best qualities to come out.
Yeah. Well, and just the true qualities. I just think like the truer we are to our work, like the more honest we are, the more um we believe our paintings. Like there's a feedback first but with the artist and the painting, like I believe you And then if I believe you, you may go. And like if I believe you've arrived, then you can go out in the world and um then you receive like the truest version, like the I don't know, there's something about that like honesty that I think is like the like it doesn't have to be bright. It can be brightness for one person, it can be turmoil for another, but if that's true, then it'll be believable and that'll be the strongest version of that person's work in that moment, you know.
We don't really necessarily think about painting as being moral, but it is though.
Maybe so.
I don't mean a morality like a holier than thou or a sort of
Yeah.
like an external thing being imposed onto you, but honesty, just being honest with yourself. Do you do it just in one area of your life, or is your whole life? Are you trying to be honest? Are you trying to be
Yeah, I think it's applies to all of it. Don't
it?
you like,
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's all kind of the same thing, isn't it?
yeah,
How you
yeah,
act. Like it's no good to be good at really good at one thing in your life and then be a bad
rotten it. Yeah, yeah.
friend or family member or whatever it is. It all has to be connected.
I think so. I think that is like, yeah, yeah, I take my painting like dead serious. I take it really seriously. I care about it really deeply. And I also cared very seriously about my friendships and my family. Like, I think all of that informs how I treat my painting. Not that they're not to personify my paintings, but like there's there's a care, there's like an ethics and a care I apply to painting, and I'm sure I have that via my upbringing and my exterior life. Like, you know,
And all those things are connected.
yeah, I believe it. I believe that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you again, Claire. It's been really such a
You
treat.
are welcome. Yeah, we
And
could talk for a long time.
we could keep
You and
going. I
me.
know, I know, I know.
Yeah.
You got some apple picking to do
Yeah, I
or
gotta do
something.
some
Or what are
Vermonting,
you gonna do?
some
Some
leaf
Vermonting.
peeping. Yeah.
Leaf peeping. That's it. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's good.
Thank you, Dan.
Really appreciate the conversation.
It's a pleasure.
Truly.